My dear child, there are moments in life when the noise of the world fades away and something deeper speaks. This is one of those moments. Right now, in this very second, you are not stumbling upon these words by accident. You did not land here because of coincidence or chance. Something far greater than luck brought you to this place, to this message, to this moment. And if you will just be still, if you will open your heart and push every distraction aside, what you are about to hear will change something deep inside you forever. You have been carrying a weight that was never meant to be yours. You have been walking through life with your head slightly bowed, shoulders heavy, heart quietly wondering if you are truly worth anything at all. The world has not always been kind to you. People have said things that cut deep. Circumstances have knocked you down in ways that made you question whether getting back up was even worth it. And in those quiet, dark moments when no one else was around, a voice whispered to you that maybe, just maybe, you are not enough. Maybe you are too broken. Maybe you have made too many mistakes. Maybe love, real love, is something for other people, but not for you. But today that voice is being silenced because today a greater voice is speaking. And this voice does not whisper. It thunders with love, with truth, with a power that no darkness can stand against. This voice is calling you by name. Not the name the world gave you based on your failures. Not the name shame tried to tattoo onto your soul. Your real name. The name that was written before you ever took your first breath. And that name means chosen. That name means loved. That name means crowned. So lean in close. Do not walk away. Do not let anything pull you from this moment, because what is coming next is not just words on a screen. It is a message from the heart of heaven directly into the deepest part of who you are. Before this world was created, before the mountains stood tall, before the oceans found their shores, before a single star was placed in the sky, you were already known. You were already thought of. You were already loved. That is not a poetic idea or a nice thought to make you feel better. That is the truth about who you are and where you come from. You were not an accident of nature. You were not a random collection of atoms that came together by chance. You were carefully, intentionally, lovingly formed. Every detail about you was chosen on purpose. The way you think, the way you feel, the things that make your heart race with passion. The dreams you carry in places so deep you are almost afraid to speak them out loud. None of that is accidental. All of it was placed inside you by hands that never make mistakes. And here is what that means for you today. It means that no label anyone has ever placed on you can override the label heaven placed on you first. People can call you worthless, but heaven calls you priceless. People can call you a failure, but heaven calls you chosen. The world can write you off, but the one who created you never will. Not ever. Not even on your worst day. Not even in your darkest moment. Not even when you yourself have given up on you. Dr. Kyle, every video on this channel is created with love, faith, and dedication to sharing God's Word. If these messages inspire and encourage you, you can support our mission through PayPal, links in the description and pinned comment. Thank you for being part of this journey. My YHILD, you are made in the image of something, music far greater than anything this world can offer. There is a divine reflection inside you. A spark of something holy that cannot be destroyed, cannot be stolen, and cannot be lost, no matter how hard life has tried to take it from you. That is why the enemy fights so hard to make you forget it. Because if you ever truly understood what you carry inside you, if you ever fully grasped the magnitude of who you really are, nothing could stop you. No fear, no doubt, no past mistake, nothing. So take a breath right now, a deep one. And as you breathe in, let this truth settle into your bones. You are not ordinary. You were never meant to be ordinary. You were made for something that stretches beyond what the eye can see and beyond what the mind can fully understand. You were made to carry something of heaven into the middle of this broken world. And that calling, that purpose, that destiny, it is still very much alive inside you. Even now, even after everything you have been through, there is a crown that has been prepared for you. Not a crown made of gold that shines for a season and then tarnishes. Not a crown that can be taken from you by the opinions of people or the cruelty of circumstances. This is a crown that was crafted in eternity, sealed with love, and placed upon your head not because you earned it, but because you were chosen to wear it. And this crown represents everything. Your worth, your identity, your purpose, your place in a story that is bigger than anything you have yet imagined. But here is the painful truth that must be spoken. Too many people who were meant to wear this crown are living as though they do not deserve it. They go through their days with their heads down. convincing themselves that they are not good enough, not strong enough, not holy enough, not worthy enough to walk in the fullness of what was prepared for them before they were born. They have believed the lies, they have accepted the limitations, they have looked at their past and decided that it disqualifies them from the future that was already written with their name on it. And perhaps you have done the same thing. Perhaps you have looked at your mistakes and thought, there is no way someone like me can walk in something so beautiful. Perhaps you have listened to the accusing voice that keeps replaying every wrong thing you have ever done, every moment you fell short, every time you said you would do better and then did not. Perhaps shame has wrapped itself around you so tightly that you cannot even imagine what freedom feels like anymore. But hear this clearly. Your crown was not given to the perfect. It was given to the redeemed. And redemption means that what was broken has been restored. What was stained has been made clean. What was lost has been found. What was dead has been brought back to life. You do not need to have a perfect record to wear your crown. You only need to accept that the price for that crown was already paid on your behalf, and that the one who paid it is not asking you to earn it back. He is simply asking you to receive it. So hold out your hands right now, even if they are shaking, even if you feel unworthy, especially if you feel unworthy, because that is exactly the kind of hands this crown was made for. The enemy of your soul is not some distant abstract force. He is an active, strategic, relentless opponent who has studied you carefully. He knows your weaknesses. He knows your insecurities. He knows the exact words that make you crumble, the exact memories that fill you with shame, the exact fears that keep you paralyzed in the middle of the life you were meant to fully live. And he has been using all of that against you for a very long time. He is not afraid of your past. He is terrified of your future. He is not threatened by who you were. He is desperate to stop you from becoming who you are called to be. And that is why the attacks have been so intense. That is why the storms have come one after another. That is why every time you take a step forward, something seems to push you 2 steps back. It is not because you are cursed. It is because you are a threat. Your crown carries authority. Your calling carries power. Speak and the enemy will do anything, use anyone, manufacture any circumstance he can to keep you from stepping into the fullness of what you were made for. But here is what the enemy does not want you to know. He has already lost. The battle was already fought, and the victory was already secured. Not by your strength, not by your ability to be perfect, not by your record of good decisions. The victory was won by a love so fierce and a sacrifice so complete that no force in existence can undo it. The chains that were meant to hold you were broken. The verdict that was meant to condemn you was overturned. The grave that was meant to be the end of your story became the beginning of something the enemy cannot touch. You are not fighting for victory. You are fighting from victory. That changes everything. When you understand that the battle is already won, you stop cowering in fear and you start walking with confidence. You stop begging for scraps and you start living like the royalty you were made to be. You stop allowing the enemy to set the terms of your life and you start declaring the truth that has already been spoken over you by a voice that carries more authority than anything in this universe. So when the enemy whispers that you are too broken, you answer with this: I am being made whole. When he says you are too weak, you answer, my strength comes from a source that never runs dry. When he says your best days are behind you, you answer, and quote, the best is yet to come because my future is in hands that never fail. And quote, you are not defenseless, you are not powerless, you are royalty crowned with authority, covered by love and equipped with everything you need to walk in the life that was planned for you before you took your first breath. If you are finding value in these words today, if something inside you is stirring, if truth is landing in places that have been dry for too long, take a moment right now and subscribe to this channel. There is more coming, more truth, more encouragement, more of these moments where heaven speaks directly into the deepest places of your heart. Do not miss what is ahead. Hit subscribe and stay close. Now, let us talk about something that the enemy uses more than almost anything else. Shame. Shame is a heavy, dark, suffocating thing. It is different from guilt. Guilt says, and quote, I did something wrong, quote. Shame says, and quote, I am something wrong, end quote. Guilt points to an action. Shame attacks your identity. And shame is one of the most powerful weapons the enemy has ever used against the people who were meant to wear a crown. You know what shame feels like? It is that feeling that hides in the back of your mind even when everything else seems fine. It is that quiet voice that says you do not deserve good things. It is the reason you sometimes pull away from love when it gets too close, because some part of you believes that if anyone truly knew you, truly saw all of you, they would walk away. Shame tells you that you are fundamentally flawed at a level that cannot be fixed. that your brokenness is so deep that even love cannot reach it. But that is the biggest lie shame has ever told. Because the love that created you is not deterred by your brokenness. It is drawn to it. A doctor does not refuse to help a sick person because they are sick. A rescuer does not leave someone drowning because they are struggling in the water. And the one who made you does not turn away from your wounds. He moves toward them. He reaches into the darkest, most shameful corners of your story and he says, and quote, I am not afraid of this. I am not disgusted by this. I love you here too, especially here. My Kyle D. We are committed to spreading hope, faith, and the message of Jesus Christ to people around the world. If you would like to help us continue this work, please visit PayPal links below. Your kindness means more than words can express. Dr. Kyle D. Every mistake you have made, every time you fell when you promised yourself you would stand, speak very sin, every failure, every moment of weakness that you replay in your mind at 3 a.m. when the world is quiet and the shame feels loudest. None of it has the power to separate you from the love that has already chosen you. None of it can remove the crown that was placed on your head before you ever had the chance to earn it or lose it. The record of your failures has been erased, not covered over with a thin layer of whitewash that the enemy can scratch away whenever he wants, fully, completely, permanently erased. Music, and in its place, a declaration has been written over your life. Redeemed, music, restored, beloved, chosen, clean. These are not wishful words. These are legal declarations made by the highest authority in all of existence. And no accusation, no whisper of shame, no painful memory can overturn them. So do this one thing right now, just one thing. Stop agreeing with the shame. Stop nodding along when the accusing voice inside your head recites the list of your failures. Stop letting guilt leave rent-free in the house of your heart. You have already been forgiven. You have already been made new. And living in shame when you have been set free is like staying in a prison cell after someone has already unlocked the door and music swung it wide open. The door is open. Walk out. Step into the freedom that was purchased for you. There is something beautiful that happens when a person truly understands grace. And grace is one of those words that gets used so often that it can start to feel empty. Music, like a religious phrase that sounds nice but does not really mean anything in the real world of real struggles. But let me bring grace down to the ground level where you actually live. Grace means that you did not earn what you have been given and you cannot lose it by failing to be good enough. Grace means the love that chose you was not based on a performance review of your life. Grace means that on your best day and on your worst day, the answer is still the same. You are loved. You are chosen. You are covered. In a world that operates entirely on performance, on what you produce, on how well you measure up, on whether you deserve what you receive, grace is completely revolutionary. It makes no sense to the calculating mind. It offends people who believe that worth must be earned. It feels almost too good to be true to people who have spent their whole lives trying to prove themselves. But grace is real, and it is the foundation of everything that has been given to you. You did not strive your way into being chosen. You were chosen before you strived for anything. You did not earn your crown by your record of obedience. Your crown was given freely before you had the chance to get anything right or wrong. And you cannot disqualify yourself from grace by failing, because grace was specifically designed for people who have failed. Stop trying to clean yourself up before you come. Come dirty, come broken, come with the full weight of everything you are ashamed of. Because grace is more than enough to cover all of it. You do not have to have it all together. You do not have to have figured everything out. You do not have to have stopped every bad habit and fixed every flaw before you can be fully loved and fully accepted. You are fully loved and fully accepted right now, exactly as you are, in the exact place you are standing. This does not mean your choices do not matter. They do. But it means that love is not the reward you receive after you get your act together. Love is the force that transforms you from the inside out. When you truly receive grace, when it lands deep in your heart and you actually believe it, it changes you. Not because you are trying to earn it, because you are responding to it. So stop striving, stop performing, stop trying to be enough. You already are enough. Not because of what you have done, but because of who made you and what was done on your behalf. Rest in that today. Speak. Really rest. Let your shoulders drop. Let the tension in your chest release. You do not have to earn this love. You just have to receive it. Let us talk about purpose, because this is where so many people lose their way. They drift through life without a clear sense of why they are here, what they are meant to do, what unique mark they were put on this earth to leave. And the enemy loves this kind of aimless drifting. Because a person without a sense of purpose is a person who is easy to distract, easy to discourage, easy to keep living far below what they were made for. But you were not made to drift. You were made with intention. Before you were born, a calling was written into the fabric of your being, a specific assignment that only you can carry out. There are people in this world who need what is inside you. There are places that need the light that you specifically carry. There are moments in the future that are waiting for you to show up and be exactly who you were made to be. Think about the gifts that come naturally to you. The things that when you do them, time seems to stop. The places where your heart comes alive. The moments when you feel most truly yourself. Those are not accidents, those are clues. They are the fingerprints of purpose on your life. The things you love most, the things that matter most deeply to you, the problems you feel a fire in your bones to solve. These are not random passions, they are divine pointers toward the specific contribution your life was designed to make. And do not for 1 second believe the lie that your gifts are too small, that your calling is too ordinary, that what you have to offer is not significant enough to matter. The enemy loves to make you compare your calling to someone else's, to make you feel like what you have been given is somehow lesser, somehow not impressive enough, somehow not worthy of being taken seriously. But every calling matters. Every gift has a purpose. Every person who steps into their God-given assignment makes a difference that ripples out in ways they may never fully see. You are not just one person among billions. You are a specific, irreplaceable part of a plan that was designed with your unique fingerprint in mind. No one else can do exactly what you were made to do. No one else carries the exact combination of experiences, gifts, perspectives, and passions that you carry. That combination exists in you alone. And when you step into it fully, when you stop holding back and start walking boldly in what you were made for, the world around you will be different because of it. So stop waiting. Stop telling yourself you will step into your purpose. When you feel more ready, when conditions are better, when you have more confidence, when someone gives you permission, you already have permission. You already carry the equipment. You are already equipped for the assignment. What you need now is simply the courage to begin. DHLD. This ministry exists to bring encouragement, prayer, and God's truth to every heart that needs it. You can stand with us through PayPal, links in the description, and pinned comment. May God bless you abundantly for your love and support. My child, now let us be honest about something. The road toward purpose and destiny is not always smooth. It is not a straight line from where you are to where you are meant to be. It is filled with seasons that make no sense, with waiting that feels endless, with trials that seem to contradict the promises you have been holding on to. And in those seasons, the temptation to give up, to let go of faith, to decide that maybe none of this is real. That temptation can be overwhelming, but those hard seasons are not evidence that you are on the wrong path. Often they are the clearest sign that you are on exactly the right one. The fire does not destroy gold, it refines it. It burns away everything that was never truly part of the gold. Speak very impurity, every weakness, everything that would have ultimately held the gold back from its full value. And what comes out of the fire is something purer, stronger, more beautiful, and more valuable than what went in. You are being refined right now. Even if it does not feel like it, even if the season you are in feels more like destruction than preparation, even if the waiting is so heavy that you can barely breathe, something is being, music, formed inside you through this process that could not have been formed any other way. Patience that only comes from waiting, strength that only comes from enduring, faith that only comes from trusting when you cannot see. Think about the great stories of people who walked through impossible seasons and came out carrying something extraordinary. Joseph spent years in a pit and in a prison before he walked into the palace. David spent years running and hiding in caves before he wore the crown. The process was long, painful, confusing, and often must have felt completely pointless. But the palace was real. The crown was real. And every hard day in the pit was preparation for the day. When the fullness of the calling was finally revealed, your hard season has an expiration date. What you are enduring right now will not last forever, but what is being built in you through it will last forever. And one day when you are standing in the fullness of what you were made for, you will look back at this season and understand, not with bitterness, but with a kind of deep, humble gratitude, because you will see that what looked like destruction was actually construction. And what felt like the end was actually the beginning of everything you were always meant to be. So hold on, do not let go, do not give up on the promise just because the process is hard. The promise is real. The one who made it is faithful. And the day of fulfillment music is closer than it looks from where you are standing right now. There is something that happens in the heart of a person who truly understands worship. Not worship as a religious duty or a ritual to be performed on command. Real worship, the kind that comes from a place of deep, genuine awe. The kind that rises up from a heart that has truly grasped how loved it is and responds with everything it has. True worship is surrender. It is the moment when you lay down everything you have been trying to control and you say, "Anquat, not my plan but yours, not my strength but yours, not my wisdom but yours." Anquat, it is the act of lifting your hands and opening them completely, releasing your grip on the things you have been clutching out of fear, and trusting that the one who placed the crown on your head is also the one who knows exactly what to do with every part of your life. And here is the beautiful paradox of worship. When you lay down your crown, when you cast everything before the one who gave it to you, when you humble yourself in complete surrender and say you are worthy of it all, you do not lose anything, you gain everything. Because in that act of laying down, something is poured into you that no striving could ever produce. Peace that goes beyond what your mind can understand. Joy that has nothing to do with your circumstances. Strength that comes from a source that never runs empty. Worship resets you. It pulls you out of your own head, out of your fears and worries and plans and anxieties, and it places you back in the only perspective that truly matters. The eternal one. The one that sees beyond Todayandapos, trouble to the glory that is coming. The one that knows how the story ends and is not afraid of any chapter along the way. So worship freely. Let nothing hold you back. Do not let dignity or self-consciousness or the fear of looking foolish keep you from entering into the kind of surrender that transforms everything. Lift your hands. Open your heart. Declare out loud the goodness that you have experienced, even in the hard seasons, especially in the hard seasons. Speak. Because worship in the storm is the most powerful worship of all. It declares to everything that can hear it, "I trust you even when I cannot see what you are doing. I believe you even when my circumstances tell me to doubt. You are worthy even when my life does not look like it yet. My dear child, you are being called to something that is bigger than your comfort zone. You are being called to step out of the familiar, to leave behind the small version of your life that felt safe but was always too small, and to walk into the vastness of what was actually prepared for you. And yes, that is scary. Growing always is stepping into new territory, always feels uncertain. The places you have not been before are by definition unfamiliar, and unfamiliar feels dangerous to a heart that has been hurt. But the unknown is not where you are going alone. You are going into the unknown with the one who already knows every inch of it. Every path you will take has already been walked by the one who is leading you. Every door you are about to walk through has already been prepared. Every provision you are going to need has already been arranged. You are not stepping into chaos. You are stepping into a plan, a good plan, the best plan, a plan that was specifically designed for you. So what is the thing you have been putting off? What is the dream you keep telling yourself is impossible? What is the step you know you are supposed to take but have not taken because fear has convinced you, music, that you are not ready? What is the door you have been standing in front of, hand raised to knock but unable to make yourself follow through? Knock on the door, take the step, make the call, start the thing, begin the journey. Because waiting for perfect conditions is just another name for fear. And fear is not the boss of you. You were made to be led by faith. And faith moves before it sees the answer. Faith steps out before it feels ready. Faith trusts the one doing the leading more than it trusts its own ability to see what is ahead. You are ready not because you have everything figured out, not because you feel confident, not because the circumstances have lined up perfectly. You are ready because you are called, and the one who calls also equips. The one who sends also provides. You will not be left standing in the middle of your calling without everything you need to fulfill it. Everything required will arrive exactly when you need it, not a moment too early, not a moment too late. Let us pause here for just a moment and talk about the people who have hurt you. Because for many who are hearing these words, the wounds that go deepest are not the ones life inflicted, but the ones that came from people. People who were supposed to love you and did not. People who made promises and broke them. People who saw your vulnerability and used it against you instead of protecting it. Music, people who left when they said they would stay. Those wounds are real. They do not need to be minimized or explained away. The pain of being let down by people you trusted is one of the sharpest kinds of pain there is, and it can leave scars that shape the way you see yourself and the way you see the world for years, sometimes for decades. But those scars do not have to be the final word, and the story that others wrote about you with their cruelty does not have to be the story that defines your life, because there is a love that is not like any human love you have experienced. It does not come with conditions that can shift. It does not come with hidden motives. It does not withdraw when you are at your worst. It does not run when things get hard. It is not tired by your neediness or exhausted by your struggles. It is patient in a way that no human patience can match. It is constant in a way that no human constancy can equal. And that love is what you were made for, not as a replacement for human connection, which you also need. Speak and, which is also good and beautiful when it is healthy, but as the foundation that makes every other kind of love possible. When you know at the core of your being that you are loved by someone who will never leave, never fail, never run out of kindness toward you, you can begin to lower the walls that pain built around your heart. You can begin to trust again. You can begin to open up again. The love that made you has seen every wound, every one. And it is not looking at those wounds with frustration or impatience. It is looking at them with a tenderness that is almost too much to take in. And it is saying, unquote, I see this. I see every place where you were hurt, and I am here, and I am not going anywhere. And we are going to walk through this together. End quote. Dr. Kyle D. If these messages have brought peace to your heart, strengthened your faith, or reminded you of Godandapos's love, please consider supporting this ministry through PayPal links below. Together, we can continue sharing hope and Godandapos's word with countless souls around the world. My Kyle, now I want to speak to you about joy, not happiness, because happiness is a butterfly. It lands on you when conditions are right and flies away when they change. Happiness is real and it is good, but it is not the thing you were made to live in. Joy is different. Joy is deeper, wilder, more stubborn than happiness. Joy can survive in conditions where happiness cannot even enter. Joy is not the feeling you get when everything is going well. Joy is the anchor that holds you steady when everything is falling apart. It is the knowledge that underneath all of the chaos and uncertainty and pain and confusion of life, there is a bedrock that cannot be moved, a goodness that is working even when you cannot see it, a plan that is unfolding even when it looks like everything is unraveling. You have permission to be joyful right now, not because your life is perfect, not because every problem has been solved, not because the season you are in is easy, but because you are held, because you are loved, because the ending of your story is already written, and it is good, because every tear that has fallen from your eyes has been seen and counted and is being transformed into something that will one day take your music breath away. Choose joy today, not as a performance, not as a spiritual exercise to prove how strong your faith is, but as an act of trust, an act that says, and quote, I believe that what I cannot see is greater than what I can. I believe that goodness is coming even through this dark valley. I believe that the story is not over and that the best chapters have not been written yet. That trust, that choosing, that decision to believe in the goodness that you cannot yet fully see, that is what joy is made of. And that kind of joy is contagious. When you carry it, people around you feel it. They wonder what you have that they do not have. They see something in your eyes that they want for themselves. And that becomes the very testimony that opens doors for you to share the truth that changed everything for you. Your joy in the middle of your storm becomes a light that guides other people out of their darkness. There is a word that gets avoided in many conversations because it sounds old-fashioned, heavy, maybe even a little bit harsh. That word is holiness. But I want to bring it back not as a burden but as a gift, because holiness at its core simply means being set apart, being different, being distinct from the noise and the compromise and the settling for less that the world around you practices. You were made to be different, not in a way that makes you superior or arrogant, not in a way that judges everyone who does not live the way you live, but different in the sense that you carry something that most people do not carry. A standard, a value system, a commitment to truth even when truth is unpopular, a refusal to compromise what you know is right just because it would be easier in the short term. Speak. Holiness is not about following a list of rules so you can, music, feel proud of yourself. Holiness is about protecting the anointing on your life. It is about guarding the gift that is inside you. Because compromise does not just affect your standing before the one who made you. It affects your capacity. When you say yes to what you know is wrong, when you let your standards slip in the name of fitting in or avoiding conflict, it costs you something in the spirit. It dims your light. It weakens your voice. It creates static in the connection between you and the one who called you. Walking in holiness is walking in clarity. It is waking up every day with a clean conscience, a clear heart, and an unobstructed line of communication with the one who is trying to lead you. And that clarity, that cleanness, that sense of walking in alignment with who you truly are is one of the most peaceful, most powerful, most freeing ways to live. Protect your crown. Guard what has been placed on you, not out of fear of punishment, but out of love for the one who gave you everything. Out of respect for the calling that is on your life. Out of a genuine desire to be everything you were made to be. Your crown is not ornamental, it is functional. It is the mark of your authority, your identity, your assignment. And how you live either shines it brighter or lets it tarnish. Live in a way that makes it shine. Faithfulness. If there is one thing that marks the people who finish well, who step into the fullness of everything they were called to, who stand at the end of their journey and look back on a life truly lived, it is faithfulness, not brilliance, not talent, not perfect circumstances or ideal conditions. Faithfulness. Faithfulness is doing the right thing when no one is watching. It is showing up when you do not feel like it. It is choosing obedience in the small moments, the moments that feel invisible, the moments where no one will ever know whether you were faithful or not. It is being the same person in the dark that you are in the light. It is trusting the process even when the process seems pointless. And here is what is absolutely certain about faithfulness. It is always seen, even when no human eye witnesses it, even when no applause follows it, even when it seems to go completely unnoticed and unrewarded. Every act of faithfulness is registered. It is recorded. It matters. It is building something layer by layer, act by act, choice by choice. Every moment of faithful obedience is constructing something in your life that will one day be revealed in its full magnificence. Think about it this way. A building does not appear overnight. It starts with a foundation that no one can see once the walls go up. And the strength of that foundation determines everything. How high the building can go, how long it will stand, how much weight it can carry. Your faithfulness right now is your foundation. The days of obedience when you are unseen, the seasons of trust when you are waiting, the moments of integrity when compromise would have been so much easier. These are your foundation. They are determining the height of what is coming. They are deciding how much weight of blessing and calling and influence your life can carry. So do not grow weary. Do not become discouraged because the harvest has not come yet. The harvest is tied to the planting, and every seed of faithfulness you have planted is alive. It is growing underground where you cannot see it yet. And when it breaks through the surface, when what was hidden becomes visible, you will be staggered by the size of what grew from seeds that seemed so small. The enemy has one more weapon that I must address before we go further, and that weapon is comparison. Speak the tendency to look at someone else Andapos life, someone else Andapos calling, someone else Andapos timeline, their progress, their success, their seemingly blessed circumstances, and then look at your own life and feel like you are somehow behind, like you are somehow less, like the favor that rests on their life must mean there is less for you. But that is not how this works. Your calling is not in competition with anyone else Andapos is. Your destiny is not diminished because someone else is also walking in theirs. There is no shortage of purpose. There is no limited supply of calling. What was prepared for you was prepared specifically and only for you, and no one else can step into it or take it away. Comparison is a thief. It steals the joy of the journey by making you focus on someone else Andapos lane while you are supposed to be running in your own. It steals the present moment by making you obsess over where someone else is instead of being fully present in where you are. It steals gratitude by making what you have seem insufficient compared to what someone else has, and it steals peace by turning something beautiful, the fact that others are also walking in purpose, into a source of pain. Dr. Kyle D. Every video is created with prayer, time, and dedication to reach those who may be searching for encouragement and faith. By supporting this ministry through PayPal, you help keep this mission growing and touching more lives each day. God bless you abundantly. Mike held, Anquat, you are not behind. You are not late. You are not missing out. You are exactly where you are supposed to be in the season you are supposed to be in. Developing what needs to be developed in you before the next chapter can begin. Trust your timeline. Honor your process. Celebrate what others are walking in without measuring it against your own story. And then bring your full attention, your full energy, your full faith back to your own lane and run your race with everything you have. Let me speak now about the promises that have been made over your life. Because maybe you are holding on to some promises that have not come to pass yet. Maybe there are things you have believed for, prayed for, stood in faith for, waited for, and they have not materialized yet. And the wait has been long enough that doubt has started to creep in around the edges. Long enough that the voice of reason has started to whisper that maybe it is not going to happen. Maybe you misunderstood. Maybe you were wrong. Maybe the promise was not real. Do not let go. Do not release what has been placed in your heart. Because the fact that a promise has not been fulfilled yet does not mean it has been canceled. It means it is still coming, and there is always a reason for the gap between the promise and the fulfillment. Sometimes the reason is preparation. You are not yet where you need to be to carry what the promise is bringing. Sometimes the reason is timing. The promise requires pieces to be in place that are not in place yet. And sometimes the reason is simply that trust is being deepened in you, and the waiting is doing a work in your character that the immediate answer would not have done. The promises are real. Every single one. They were not spoken carelessly. They were not made without full knowledge of how long the journey would be. They were made by someone who sees the end from the beginning, who knew exactly what the timeline would look like when the words were spoken, and who still spoke them because they are true. Hold on, keep believing, keep trusting. Not because you can see how it is going to work out, but because you know who is working it out. And the one who made the promise is not a person who can change his mind or run out of power or forget what he said. What has been promised to you will come to pass, and when it does, it will be so clearly, so obviously from a source beyond human ability, that you will not be able to take credit for it. You will only be able to give thanks. Speak. There is something I want to say to those of you who have been invisible, who have been serving faithfully in places no one sees, who have been doing the quiet, unglamorous behind-the-scenes work of obedience for years without recognition, without applause, without anyone telling you that what you are doing matters. Parents who have poured themselves out raising children with love and intention. People who serve others in ways that never make the headlines. People who pray in the quiet hours when the world is asleep. People who give sacrificially without anyone knowing how much it costs. You are seen. Every single thing you have done in secret is seen. Every prayer that was whispered into the silence when no one else was awake. Every sacrifice made without anyone knowing. Every act of kindness that was never acknowledged. Every moment of faithfulness that went completely unnoticed by every human eye. All of it has been seen. All of it has been recorded. And all of it is being stored up as a reward that is waiting for you. The world rewards what is visible. It celebrates what can be measured, what can be quantified, what can be shown off and admired, but the most powerful things in the kingdom are invisible. The prayer that turns a situation around, the faithfulness that builds a foundation strong enough to hold everything that is coming, the love that is poured out quietly and consistently without any expectation of return. These are the things that actually change the world even when the world does not realize it. So do not be discouraged by the lack of visible recognition. Do not measure your impact by the applause you receive or the attention your efforts attract. Measure it by the faithfulness of your music doing. And then trust that the one who sees what is invisible, music, is already planning a moment when everything that was done in secret will be brought into the light, honored in a way that no human recognition could ever match. Now I want to speak to the part of you that is tired. The part that has been fighting for so long that the idea of continuing feels almost impossible. The part that is not dramatic about it, does not make a big show of the exhaustion, but quietly in the still moments feels the weariness down to the bone. The part that loves deeply and believes strongly but is simply genuinely tired. You do not have to pretend you are not tired. Pretending to be fine when you are not is not the same as having faith. Real faith acknowledges the reality of the struggle and chooses to trust anyway. Real faith says, yes, this is hard. Yes, I am weary. And yes, I am still going to keep holding on, not because I feel strong, but because I know I am held by one who is, and there is rest available to you. Not the rest that comes from everything being resolved, from every problem being solved, from every storm finally passing, but a different kind of rest. A rest that coexists with the storm, a peace that is present in the middle of the uncertainty, a quietness in the soul that is not dependent on what is happening around you, but is rooted in who is with you. You can be weary in your body and peaceful in your spirit. You can be uncertain about the details and deeply settled in your trust. You cannot know how everything is going to work out and still have a bone-deep confidence that it will, because your rest is not in the circumstances. Your rest is in the one who holds the circumstances in his hands, and he is not tired. He is not worried. He is not surprised by anything that is happening. And when you lean into him, when you stop trying to carry everything alone and you let yourself be carried, something shifts. So lean in right now. Stop straining. Stop trying to figure out every angle and solve every problem and map out every step. Just rest. Just breathe. Just let yourself be held for a moment. You do not have to have it all figured out today. You do not have to solve everything right now. The one who is leading you is not in a panic about your situation, and you do not need to be either. We are drawing closer to the end of this message, and I want to make sure that before you walk away, something has truly landed. Not just in your mind, not just as a collection of beautiful words that you appreciated in the moment but forgot an hour later, but something that has sunk down deep past the surface, past the layer of the mind that processes information down into the place where you actually live, the place where your real beliefs about yourself and about life are stored, the place where change, if it is going to stick, actually has to happen. So let me ask you something. What is the one lie about yourself that has done the most damage? What is the one false belief that has kept you living smaller than you were made to live? What is the one whisper that has followed you the longest, that has shaped your choices without you even fully realizing it, that has stolen the most from your life? Maybe it is the belief that you are not lovable, that people will always eventually leave, that getting close to anyone is just setting yourself up for the inevitable hurt of losing them. Maybe it is the belief that you are a failure, that your track record of falling short is evidence of something fundamentally wrong with you, music, something that effort and intention cannot overcome. Maybe it is the belief that your life does not really matter, that you are just one among many unremarkable and replaceable that the world would spin on completely unchanged without you. Whatever that lie is, call it out right now. Name it, speak it out loud, or write it down, because named lies lose power. They thrive in the shadows of the unspoken. They wither in the light of being confronted. And now, having named the lie, replace it. Replace it with the truth that has been spoken over you throughout this entire message. You are lovable fully and without condition. You are not a failure. You are a person in process, being shaped by a love that is wiser than your performance record. And your life matters in ways that are bigger than you can fully see. You were placed on this earth at this exact time for a reason that is still unfolding. My KLD. A single act of kindness can help God's message reach someone who needs hope today. If you feel blessed by this channel, you can stand with us through the PayPal links in the description and pinned comment. Thank you for helping us spread God's love one soul at a time. DKH. Let the truth take the space where the lie lived. Say it again and again, and every time the old lie comes creeping back in, which it will replace it again. You are not fighting this battle alone. You have the most powerful truth in the universe on your side, and truth always eventually wins. Your crown is real. I want to make sure you leave with this settled in you, not as a metaphor, not as poetic language, but as a genuine spiritual reality. You carry worth that was placed on you by the one who made you. You carry authority that was given to you as part of your identity as a child of the King. You carry purpose that is specific to you and cannot be filled by anyone else. You carry love that is unconditional, unending, and completely unshakable. And that crown is not sitting on the shelf waiting for you to become worthy of it. It is already on your head. The question is whether you are going to live like it. Whether you are going to carry yourself with the dignity and the confidence of someone who knows exactly who they are and who see they are. Whether you are going to walk into the rooms and the relationships and the callings of your life as the royalty you are. Start today, not tomorrow when you feel more ready. Not after you have gotten a little better, made a little more progress, fixed a few more things about yourself. Today, as you are exactly where you are, start carrying yourself as someone who has been crowned by love, called by purpose, and covered by a grace that is bigger than any mistake you have ever made. Walk differently, speak differently, think about yourself differently, not in arrogance, not in pride, but in the quiet, settled, unshakable confidence of someone who knows they belong to something eternal, Someone who knows that what is inside them is greater than anything that comes against them. Someone who knows that the story is not over and that the best is still ahead. And now I want to speak to you one final time from the most tender place in this message. My dear child, my beloved, the one I have been speaking to throughout every word of this, I see you. I have always seen you. I see the strength that has carried you through seasons that would have broken most people. I see the love you give even when you are running on empty. I see the faith you hold on to even when every circumstance tells you to let it go. I see the prayers you pray when no one else is awake. I see the tears you cry in the quiet places. I see the moments when you almost gave up but did notice see all of it, every single thing, and I am so proud of you. Not proud in the way people are proud when you perform well, when you produce results, when you make them look good. Proud in the way that only a parent who truly sees their child can be proud. Proud of who you are. Proud of your heart. Proud of the love in you that refuses to die no matter what life throws at it. Proud of the faith that keeps burning even when the wind is doing everything it can to put it out. You are going to be okay. More than okay. You are going to walk into the fullness of everything that was prepared for you before you ever drew your first breath. Every promise is still alive. Every dream I placed in your heart has not been forgotten. Every season of waiting is ending and giving way to something you are not yet able to fully imagine. The best chapters of your story have not been written yet. So lift your head, square your shoulders, breathe deep. Music, you are loved beyond measure. You are called beyond anything you have dared to dream. You are covered by a grace that has no limits and a love that has no end. You are not alone. You are never alone. And you will never be alone. Your crown is on your head. Wear it well, my dear child. I want you to hear these final words with your whole heart. Everything that has been spoken to you today was spoken because you matter, because your life has weighed in meaning and purpose that the enemy has fought to hide from you. And today the hiding is over. You are stepping into a new season, a season of walking in the truth of who you truly are, a season of laying down the lies, the shame, the self-doubt, and the fear that have kept you small, a season of stepping forward with boldness, with confidence, with the quiet, settled joy of a person who knows they are loved, known, chosen, and crowned. And as you walk into that season, you do not walk alone. Every step you take is accompanied. Every battle you face is not yours to fight without backup. Every mountain that stands in your path has already been spoken to by one who moves mountains. You are not going into this new chapter of your life relying on your own strength, your own wisdom, your own ability to figure everything out. You are going in held by the hand of the one who already knows how it all unfolds. So make this commitment today to believe what has been spoken over you, even when your feelings say otherwise. To walk in your identity, even when old voices try to call you back into who you use music to be. To wear your crown, even when the world tries to make you feel unworthy of it. To trust, even when you cannot see. To keep going, even when everything in you wants to stop. You were made for this. You were made for every good thing that is waiting for you on the other side of your yes. And the one who made you is faithful, completely, absolutely, perfectly faithful. He will not drop you. He will not forget you. He will not abandon you in the middle of the story. He will carry you through every chapter until you are standing exactly where you were always meant to stand, clothed in victory, crowned with love, looking back at a life that was truly lived. You deserve the crown. You were made to wear it. And today you choose to put it on and never take it off again. Go forward, beloved. The world is waiting for who you truly are. Amen. If these words have touched your heart today, if something inside you has shifted, if truth has reached a place that needed it, please take a moment to like this video and leave a heartfelt amen in the comments below. Your testimony matters, and it encourages others who are walking the same journey. And if you want more messages like this one, more truth spoken directly into the heart of who you are and who you were made to be, please subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a word. You are loved. You are seen. And this community is here to remind you of that every single day.